Good morning, everyone. It is January 28th, 1986, and we have a reporter live at the Kennedy Space Center to see the Challenger launch.
Good morning to you too. It is almost noon as the Challenger prepares to take off. There is T-minus 30 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it lifts off.
Wow, the 20th Space Shuttle mission has taken off.
There were a few delays in the process of takeoff due to the cold weather, but clearly everything is going smoothly.
It seems like some of the rocket boosters from the side of the shuttle blew away from an explosion.
There seems to be a major malfunction.
Well, yes, we did see a huge fireball in the sky.
Apparently the flight director has confirmed the explosion. He's seeing what can be done. But this will likely end fatally. There is no word that there will be any survivors.
What a major catastrophe for America's space program.
It appears that there has been no evident remains. Prayers to the crew and their families.
The Challenger 7 were simply a group of dreamers, including Francis R. Scobie, Michael J. Smith, Judith Resnick, Ronald McNair, Ellison Unizuka, Gregory Jarvis, and Krista McAuliffe.
Please keep these astronauts in your mind. Oh, it appears we have more information from someone with NASA with more details.
Yes, according to a transcript from the director, he would like to state, as Americans, we will grow stronger from this. It does appear that the cause came from a leak of the rocket boosters, which ignited the main liquid fuel tank.
Thank you for this valuable information. Please join us for more information and pray for the victims.
We'll be sure to keep those astronauts in our prayers for the tragic incident of the Challenger space shuttle. But for now, we're going to have an interview with Whitney Houston on her upcoming In Our Great Century of Hip Hop and Culture.
Today we have a special guest to interview. We would like to introduce the talented Whitney Houston.
I'm so flattered to be here. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. How do you feel that your song, I Want to Dance with Somebody, reached #1 on the Billboard and Hot 100 and top 10 in dozens of other countries? You shifted the music genres of the 80s to a more dance pop era.
Performing and touring around America are my passions. The international reception led me even to have world tours. I could not have done this without my producer, Miranda Michael Walden.
At the same time, your fame from the world tour led you to be the highest earning African American woman and also the third highest entertainer after 2 men.
I have to work harder than men in the industry like Prince and Michael Jackson because of the fact I'm a woman. But I'm glad that the hard work paid off. However, those two are so talented. I have to agree that Purple Rain was a movement though.
So your latest single is from your sophomore album, Whitney. How does Whitney differ from your first album? What is your goal?
I definitely wanted to embrace the energy that came from the 80s, hence the mirror disco vibe. My goal was simply to make catchy music that can easily convey my passion through performance.
You're clearly a person of many talents, as your album was even released in Soviet-occupied East Germany the same year right before the fall of the Berlin Wall. Do you think music is the key to world peace?
I wouldn't say I was capable of that, but music brings a common ground that may not be found elsewhere.
Truly inspiring. Thank you for joining us, Whitney. I know you're busy because you are performing at another award show tonight, but is there anything else you want to share to the audience?
I began recording my new album, which should be out by next year. Keep an eye out on a single by October. You're so bad at this.
I'm trying.
Just stop.
Oh my gosh, this heat. Can you give me a Pepsi?
Yeah, sure.
No, that's not gonna do. Can you give me a Pepsi?
Okay.
Finally. I'm gonna try backwards.
How did you make that in?
I made it in!
What?
Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
And now for our music fans. MTV stood out when it first aired in 1981 because it played music videos 24 hours a day, but now standing out for a different reason. Now the network is encouraging pop culture movements by promoting controversial artists such as Michael Jackson and Madonna. It's also increasing the popularity of cable TV by incorporating shows and advertisements instead of just music videos. It's also using its platform to influence public opinion by promoting public figures such as Bill Clinton. This just in, tensions between the US and Russia continue to grow as the 1980 Summer Olympics approach. In response to the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, the US has threatened to boycott the upcoming Olympic Games that are being held in Moscow. More than 60 countries plan to follow President Carter's lead and boycott the Olympic Games to show their disapproval.
Let's talk about fashion. Today in the 19th century, we have amazing sense of fashion. Our mullets, our perms, and our rat tails. Now in hip hop culture, you know, they be bringing in with the old clock keychain hanging from their chest, the parachute pants, which are top in the line. And on top of that, to cover your hair, if if you're bald or something, you can have a nice bucket hat, and we have plenty of those. Another thing that is unique to our generation, to our time in the 80s, is our beatbox walking. You can go around the street and jam with some random stranger, and that's what I love about our generation, because we are proving a point that we are here to make a statement into the lives of American culture. That's all I have to cover today, and we'll see you right after these commercials.
Bet you can't solve that.
Wanna bet?
Fine.
Fine then.
Let's do it.
Hey, look what I did.
Hey, how'd you do that?
Here, you try.
Rubik's Cube. Over 3 billion combinations, but just one solution from Ideal.
Good morning on this fine fall day. Remember 2 years ago in 1987 when President Reagan held his speech at the Berlin Wall?
Thank you very much. Chancellor Kohl, Governing Mayor Deepkin, ladies and gentlemen, 24 years ago, President John F. Kennedy visited Berlin. Well, since then, 2 other presidents have come, each in his turn to Berlin. And today, I myself make my second visit to your city. Perhaps the composer Paul Linke understood something about American presidents. You see, like so many presidents before me, I come here today because wherever I go, whatever I do, ich hab noch keinen Koffer in Berlin.
Well, the President of the Soviet Union, Mikhail Gorbachev, has finally listened. We have one of our anchors reporting live from the U.S. occupied West Berlin.
Good evening from Western Berlin on this fine November 9th, 1989. But right behind us is East Berlin, ready to fall. Instead of hammer and sickles, citizens of both nations are working hard to break down the wall because of the new initiatives of Gorbachev. An East Germany spokesman announced that at midnight, East Germans were allowed to go west, but failed to discuss regulations. People are at checkpoints right now, but at the rate of things going on, it seems that the guards are ready to leave and are abandoning their positions as well.
It's truly amazing. That is the power of introducing free election and democratic government. Tonight appears to be a night of partying, drinking, and fireworks between the West and East Berliners.
Soldiers of Communist East Germany have finally dropped their rifles and are physically taking down the wall.
Wow, here we have footage of people climbing and celebrating the fall.
He came over from East Berlin. Thank you.
would have not gotten this far if it was not for Reagan. Join us next week.